Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me and becoming a part of my presentation. And Let's get started. So, the presentation I'm doing today is about part five, surviving the workplace. I chose part five because I am graduating on Saturday, so I feel like doing a part five chapter was fitting, basically, since I'm going into the workplace permanently and have no future plans of more higher education. So let's get started. Okay, so first slide talks about the importance of work-life balance. So some of the benefits are greater control of your work and life, focus more on you, loyalty and commitment, better self-view, better relations with management. Some of the drawbacks, which are burnouts, if you don't have a work-life balance, is same work with little variation, giving but not receiving back, a lack of sense at work, dealing with difficult people, which could be a burden, and lack of trust with higher ups. So let's go through some of these, and then I'll break them down. So one of the benefits, the first benefit, greater control of a work and life. Basically, your work doesn't control your life, but your life doesn't control your work. You can basically separate them, but balance the two. Focus more on you, basically, because you are the controller of your own self. You can focus more on you, whether that be through personal happiness, hobbies, values, etc. Loyalty and commitment. It gives you a sense of you and management that you're here for the long haul. You love the company, you love to commit to this company because of your work and the perks that your work gives to you. Better self view, basically, not, downing yourself, reflecting on you as a positive person, etc. Better relations with management. This is key for any place you work. You want to be good, on solid ground with anybody you work with, especially the management, because those are the people that control your job. So let's go to burnout. Same work with little variation. Basically, routine, doing the same thing without, any difference. That could be quite boring to many people. I'm a person that likes routine, but I get this in the fact of when it comes to work, you don't want to be doing the same thing every day. That'd be that'd be kind of like doing the same thing at the issue every day when it comes to the classroom. It gets boring, it gets tiresome, and you frankly don't want to continue to do it. Giving but not receiving back. Basically, you feel like, whether it be your work life or your personal life, you're giving 100%, but it doesn't seem like your life and your work is, giving the same things that, putting the same effort that you are into. My parents always said, you always, get back what you put in. If you don't have a work-life balance, it might be hard for that to be a thing. Lack of sense of at work. Basically, you're at work, you're doing it, but you don't feel there. You don't feel like you're comfortable there. You don't feel like you belong. You're always thinking about something else, etc. Difficult people. Now, I work at Pizza Hut, so I know this personally. There's difficult people you will deal with your whole entire work life or higher education life because frankly it's just there's too many people to make it go smoothly. You're gonna deal with difficult people you don't like, people you don't trust, etc. Lack of trust with higher ups. Basically, you walk in every day, you put in the work, but the higher up people just don't seem to be giving it as much as you when it comes to giving effort. I get this at my job. I feel like my managers don't care at all. Uh, and they treat people differently from person to person. Like I work with a couple. There's favoritism there. So, you know, that could be a bad thing, especially when you don't have that when you have that lack of work life balance. You feel resentment. You don't feel like they care about you. Personalities and knowing yourself. Uh, I listed a few priorities in my life. These are either right now or future goals or priorities that I seek. Priorities in life. Find a wife/girlfriend. That's many people with it. You know, uh, you know, no matter who you are, find a husband, find a girlfriend, whatever. Fresh start. This is the one that really applies to me right now. Since I'm getting out of Ball State, I'm looking to get my feet wet. Basically, start off somewhere. Like 30,000, and just start my life. Get an apartment. Do what I have to do. Because I'm 23. I've got to figure out what I need to do with my life. Build healthy relationships with others. I think, and family and others. I think this is anybody basically saying, "Hey, I don't want to be isolated. I want feel that connection with people, etc." And then we're going to go into types of personality. So type A is more competitive, driven, workaholic. That is the classic thing you see on TV. They go for it. They're aggressive, etc. They're always thinking about work. B is laid back, easygoing, procrastinating. Now I say it's like me basically, but I'm more of an A-B mix because I do have some competitiveness, but I am a major procrastinator on things. So that's why I'm turning this on Friday. So but all kidding aside, this is some of the type of personalities. How could there be nuance? Yes, but those are some of the types of personalities the book lists. Stress. That's the next thing they covered in the chapter. I listed some of the triggers. It could be conflict, which is basically, not seeing eye to eye with management, not seeing eye to eye with your partner, eye to eye with your family, etc. Overload. Overload, basically, whether that be your personal life or work life, basically feel like it's all on you. You got a burden on your shoulders. You can't seem to get out from it. That's what they mean by overload. I keep saying overlord. Overload. Negativity. No one wants negativity all the time. The fact of, you want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel good about what you're doing. You want to feel good about the people around you, etc. So those could be some of the triggers. There's many more. But stress is certainly a part of everybody's life. And, I've struggled with some stress in my past. Not like mental breakdown, but, basically through assignments, through tests, with papers, stuff at work, personal life, etc. It's all common. So bullying in the workplace. Now this one is one of the last things they covered in the chapter. Basically, it happens at workplaces. It should be limited, but it does happen, and hopefully you're not on the receiving end. Some of the categories that they chose was calling someone out for no apparent reason. Basically to say, here's that person. Kind of connects with scapegoats. Basically, we got to blame it on somebody. Harassment. Basically, whether it be sexual harassment or verbal harassment, whatever it is, not cool. Bullies will show this in the workplace. Needs to be limited. Hopefully there's ways to, combat this in your workplace. Overload. Just like we said above, it can commit to stress. But this one is basically about, someone targeting you and giving you the most work out of anybody just because you're you. Same thing as targeting. Basically, you're basically going after this person for some reasons, maybe non-reasons. Failing to give credit, basically, you do good work, you have great ideas, etc., but they're not willing to give you the credit you deserve. Because you were part of that team, you contributed, they just don't want to acknowledge you. And physicality, hopefully this doesn't happen too much. Hopefully none of this happens too often or at all. But physicality, just being aggressive with someone. So I hope I listed off all the things why I chose this. I chose these because obviously there are things that everybody goes through. I also chose this because I'm one of the people that's focused on my personal life more than my professional life, but I want to keep a balance there and figuring out how to do that. So hopefully this was a great presentation for you all. To everyone graduating with me on Saturday, we did it. To anybody who is still here at Ball State for a little bit, I hope your times here at Ball State continue to be great, and I wish you well. Thanks.